I'm obviously a complete newbie to this YouTube video content thing. I'm so used to just going live that I just spent 15 minutes thinking that I was recording and I hadn't hit record. So I am sorry to no one that was listening. I'm Lucy. This is my first ever vlog. I have been creating content for a very long time. A bit of an I wouldn't say an OG, I'd say an oldie at doing it. So I did a lot on TV, I made web series, but when it comes to vlogging, I never really did that. So you can find me doing live shopping and live sort of reels in different places, but a full-on vlog was never really something that I did. I should have. Don't get me wrong. So I thought, you know what, why not? Let me just try it. What have I got to lose? And it might actually be a good thing for me to digest things that I'm up to. I spin a lot of plates. So it's actually good for me to recap what I'm working on and how I'm doing it. It may be a good place for me to address any questions that have come across, and it's obviously long form content. So it's longer than what you would see on other platforms. So I'm hoping that you enjoy what I'm going to share. Today is going to be short. Ultimately, I think my vlogs will include a little bit about what I'm up to in the week. You'll see a bit of behind the scenes. But today is just me sat on my couch, so I apologise. But I am talking about some exciting things. So we just launched a live beauty channel for Counterculture. So Counterculture is a multi-brand platform. And so I've just got a brand new beauty show on there that I host every Thursday at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to talk through some of the products. So what do I do? I'm a marketing director at an agency. I head up the live shopping department. I thought I just heard a car pulling outside as well. I was like, that's just perfect timing. I hit record and then everyone arrives in the house. But my background is in TV, it's in presenting, and I lived in New York for 15 years doing that. Bit of a random story how I ended up in New York. Maybe I'll share that later. But I will say the best decision I ever made in life was to move out there. Best decision was to move back, and I moved back literally 2 months before COVID hit. So I live in Cheshire. I live with my partner and my gorgeous little girl who's 2.5. So I am a mommy as well as doing all of these other jobs. And then I have a secondhand styling business, which I absolutely adore, which is all about pre-loved fashion. So my passion is fashion, beauty, lifestyle, with a sprinkle of business on top. Not that I know that much about business, but I learn as I go. You know what I'm saying? I'm a really good hustler. I like to work hard. So today's episode, I'm just going to recap what I've been up to. So we launched the beauty show. So I wanted to show you some of the products. I got to test out an amazing self-tan brand. It's called So Tan. I don't know if you've ever heard of the brand before. They do lots on TikTok. There's a great bundle that they've got when it comes to the live shopping. So that's the thing with live shopping. If you're on the back end actually producing the shows, the whole purpose of someone wanting to come onto a live shop experience is so that they can obviously receive a discount, an incentive, and it's also about being able to chat and ask questions in real time. So it's really good for brands because they get first-hand sort of information about what is it the customer wants. So what I think worked really well in this episode that we just aired last week was the fact that the founder was on and she was giving us tips and tricks on how to actually apply self-tan, which I had no idea. I mean, I've just always thought, rub it in really well and hope for the best. But actually, she was amazing. The founder's called Lindsay of So Tan, and they've got loads of tips on their TikTok. But she was just such a genuine, sweet lady as well. Interviewing her was so easy, so effortless. Of course, when I interview people, I do prep. I have my set questions. We have to do a tech rehearsal ahead of time. But I think the best interviews are always those that just feel like a conversation. They're not forced. They're just, you know, I'm genuinely curious or intrigued by what she has to say. I mean, she mentioned you've got to start at the bottom, work your way up, and then she addressed all the areas that we typically have problems with, like the hands and the feet, and how to make sure you don't get your streaks. So it was amazing. So that is a brand that I genuinely have been converted to. Like, I feel like So Tan is the way forwards. And who knew you're supposed to use a primer as well? So this is part of the bundle. That's the primer that comes. And then you've got the rapid tan. And then it also has a face and hand mist, which is so lovely. It just makes you feel like you've got that instant glow, that summer-kissed glow before you go on holiday and to obviously fight off your holiday blues. Well, there was a lot, actually the other brand, so Don and May, they do these compression cubes, which are perfect for traveling. So if you are looking for something where you can literally compress as many items as possible into your suitcase so that you can have so much more space, then Donna May is perfect. So we gave we sold these, but we also had, here it is, a little freebie, which was the Hello Sunday SPF. So that came as a little gift with purchase. So if you bought the compression cubes, and there were 4 of them, you got one of those. So that's another thing. If you're ever thinking about doing lives and thinking, okay, maybe you have a brand, what's the purpose of a live? Incentives, giveaways are really good. So I'll try and share a little bit about what's working for us over on Counterculture. So those were the products that I got to test and share, which was really fun. Some other things, so I've started running. I did used to run, like hardcore run. Then since having my little girl, it's not that I don't have the time, I think it's more about routine and having a habit. And I just didn't have a routine that fit with me getting up and making sure I got my running. One part that I don't really talk about, I don't know if I've really spoken about it that much, but before I moved back from New York, I was suffering with severe panic attacks. Like I was constantly anxious, and I was having to fight it because I was constantly on camera. So it was this really, it was a struggle, actually. It was a real struggle, and I was burnt out as well. I mean, I'll talk more about it on later episodes, but for me, exercise has always been a release. It's been a place of sort of an outburst that I can get some, amped up energy out and unleash it. But when I don't have that, I do notice a complete difference in my mood. So we went away recently. We went on holiday to Croatia, and we went on a Nielsen holiday, which is activity based. So it was perfect because I really got to relish in the fact that my daughter was at kids club and she was enjoying herself in the morning, but I got to do some activities. I got to do some exercise. So I got into a habit of running every day. So when I've come back, I've maintained that. But one thing that I've done alongside it is I started taking supplements. Now, I never took supplements. In fact, I remember my friend, he was a nutritionist, and this was probably in my early 20s, he took me into a nutrition store and was like, okay, you need these supplements and these supplements. And I'm just like, first of all, that's really expensive. Second of all, I'm overwhelmed. So I've never taken supplements, but a brand I actually started finding more out called Simon Orion at the beginning of this year. They do personalized skincare and nutrition. And so I started taking the supplements because I thought, if I can address certain areas and hit certain things. So I wanted to address my mood because I did notice like quite a bit of a dip at certain times in the month. I wanted to address weight management, and I also wanted to address energy. I didn't want fog when I wake up thinking, oh God, I wish I had more energy. So that's what these supplements do. So you basically take a quiz and it personalizes what it thinks that you need. So I got these, and they have, I'd say, actually drastically improved my mood, my energy. So I take these, and then I'm getting my running in the morning as well. So I'm really feeling proud. I did my 5K this morning, which was really good. So I'll keep you updated as to how the exercise is going. And then when I was on holiday, I also started thinking about how my mind works. I always have projects going on, so many different projects. We've got the podcast launching this week, actually. We've got, obviously, the live shows happening at Secondhand Styling, live beauty show. I've got all of the stuff that I'm working on at the agency. So my head is a bit scattered. And then, of course, you've got family and life and all of that stuff going on. So I actually came across this book. I was trying to look for a planner. So I have like a regular planner. I don't have a digital calendar. I do for work, but I don't in my personal life. I've actually got a proper hardcore planner. But I came across this on Amazon. Now, I haven't started using it, first of all. It's got stickers, yay. I mean, you can tell I'm a toddler mum right there. But it's really, it's actually been designed for people, that's what they said. It's got people with sort of attention challenges. And it's really good the way that it spaces out. So it's reflect and design my next year. You can talk about your goals. It's very sort of granular on what's happening, reflect my last 30 days, how do I feel about my progress, keeping you on track, which if you looked at the tabs and the amount of tabs that I have on my laptop, you would realize I need to be kept on track. So that's another thing that I'm going to start actually trying to test out. I'll let you know how it goes. empowering my morning routine, habits, write down. Anyway, it just aesthetically, it looks really nice. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with these stickers other than stick them, but I don't know how it's supposed to help with my productivity, but apparently it will. Important. So those are some of the things that I've got in my bag this week. What's happening this week? Ahead of schedule, we will go live again. So I've got my live beauty shows with the podcast. So the podcast that we're launching is basically well, I'm not going to say what it's called, but it is featuring female founders and decision makers. So I'm very excited to share more information about that. Heading to London this week for an event. So part of my job is obviously networking and new business. So I'll see who I can find down there. And then we have a 50th birthday party, which I'm very excited to go to. I don't know what I'm going to wear actually. So I don't go out that much. I used to go out a ton, obviously, back in New York, and then, life changes. So it's very special when you get to go out. But this weekend, we did go out yesterday. So we live fairly close to a place called Knutsford, which is a really, really lovely little town. So we went out for lunch. And my weekend has been spent potty training my daughter as well. So she did a very good job out and about. So we had lots going on. We did swimming, which was lovely. So yeah, as you can hear from this first episode, you'll just probably get a little bit more info as to what I'm up to, things that I'm talking about, things that I'm liking. And then, it's Father's Day, isn't it? So I've got to book, that's on my to-do list. I have to book somewhere for us to go and have lunch this weekend, so I'll have to make sure. Yesterday we went to a really nice place called Gusto. I don't know if you've ever, I think there's quite a few of Gustos, but it was lovely, so delicious. Right, that's it from me. This has been my lunch break. So I thought I'd do this vlog now. I'm gonna do some orders after work. So another part of my life is orders from secondhand styling. So I need to pack everything up, get that out to the post office. And yeah, let me know what you think. And if you've got any questions and things that you want me to be talking and sharing about. All right, I'm Lucy, by the way, if I forgot to say that. I've rambled for 12 minutes. Okay, that's a good little start. Have a good day, everyone.